The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking.
How's it going out there today, boys and girls in sporty land? Just want to jump in here real quick because I heard a little rumor today from the guys at 365 Sports. And sometimes I like those guys, sometimes I don't. I think they're a little slanted with the whole Baylor thing and maybe have a little hard feelings towards Oklahoma and Texas sometimes, and the SEC. So sometimes you have to sort of decipher as to when they're, in their feelings and when they're not. But they were talking about Texas A&M and Oklahoma State might possibly be looking at the Big Ten. I mean, to me, Oklahoma State, considering that, is not huge news. But Texas A&M jumping from the SEC to the Big Ten, because why? Because a certain team is coming to the conference, a team they're trying to get away from. If that's the case, then we got something to talk about. Here we go again on our own. Just like the old White Snake song. I love throwing that out there every once in a while because to me, White Snake is probably the most underrated hard rock band of all time. If y'all haven't listened to White Snake, pop them in there. Listen to them on Spotify or whatever you use to listen to music. But anyway, getting right to it here. I am the OCF. That's the Outlaw of College Football, also known as JPC. You can find me on Facebook if you want to holler at me on there under Jesse Paul Clark. Now, getting right to it, class, it looks like, and I don't really think this is going to happen, but for it to be even murmured, for people to even be talking about it, tells me that somewhere, somehow, someone has said something in the Texas A&M faction, and even the Oklahoma State faction to a degree. Like I said, the Oklahoma State thing, that would not surprise me in the least. Now, I'm not sure if Oklahoma State is AAU certified to be in the Big Stank Conference. I mean, not bad. In the Big Ten Conference. But Texas A&M jumping from the SEC to the Big Ten. Now, that would be pretty ballsy of old Kevin Warren. He might be able to actually get back some of his respect if he's ever had any, because I've never really respected him. I don't really know him that well to respect him or disrespect him, just to know that he tried to shut down the college football season in 2020. So that's why I've always had issues with Kevin Warren, because I thought he was being a little political pudding back in 2020. But that's neither here nor there. But the problem I have is that even if that happened, that does, for some reason, astronomical odds against it, and it happens. Texas A&M decides they want to join the Big Ten. My question to Texas A&M is, why would you do that? You're a lot better fit down here, culturally and geographically. I know geography is out the window these days, but it's still a very good thing to have when you're in a conference. If you're closer to all your rivals, you don't have to do as much traveling. USC and UCLA, you're going to find that out real fast. I think they probably made a mistake. And I've been hearing actually that USC and UCLA are actually sort of regretting this move. I wonder if there's a loophole where they can get out of it. It remains to be seen. But why would you run away from Texas? You already had your little 10-year window. Y'all had, it's like any relationship, man. Sometimes people get on each other's nerves and they just need some time apart. Well, y'all have had time apart, man. Start playing them again, man. I mean, it makes you look like you're dodging Texas, man. It makes you look like you're scared of Texas. And Texas ain't really nothing to be scared of right now. That's not a slight, and that's not me trolling. I'm just saying that right now, if you want to play Texas and try to rectify your record against them, which is horrendous, by the way, right now would be a good time to do it. Because I haven't got the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's like Texas has won like 75 or 85 games or something against Texas A&M, while Texas A&M's only won like 37. I think it's like 75 to 37 or some shit. Do you really call that a rivalry? I mean, like I've said in the past before, just like with the Oklahoma State thing, everybody's like, oh, Bedlam's going away. The rivalry. Yeah, whatever. Oklahoma State didn't really start being that relevant until these past 5, 6, 7, 8 years, maybe. Maybe 10. Might give them this past decade. But overall, 100 years, it's not been a rivalry, just like Texas and Texas A&M ain't been rivalries. So if you want to rectify that and try to make yourself look better in the history books to all the college football fans from the past, the present, and the future, because there's people that's going to go back and read that and look at that, and they're going to think you dodged them if you went to the Big Ten. You left the Big 12, come over to the SEC. Then Texas decides to join the SEC 10 years later, and boom, your ass is out the door. Join the Big Ten. How's that going to look? It's not going to look good at all. Like I said, it's probably a pie in the sky thing anyway. It's just, Texas A&M just getting in their feelings a little bit. They're not overly pissed about it, I don't think, because I think deep down inside they do want to play Texas. And I think they do want to rectify that record a little bit. And right now they got a 10-year head start on Texas in the SEC, man. Yeah, Texas is going to have the SEC logo to recruit with too, but you've already got a 10-year head start, and you know how to use that logo a lot better than Texas. And it's going to take them a few years to assimilate to certain things in the SEC, whereas you guys already know the deal. So don't do it, man. Even if there's just a small idea of it, just wash that away, throw that away, man, and rectify that record. Make yourself look good. Get your program's history in a better place by staying put and handing Texas their ass. Hand them their ass, man. Throw the horns down, wherever you want. By the way, if the SEC acquiesces to any of that horns down bullshit, now I got a lot of good Texas people out there, and I respect them. But y'all got to admit, man, to try to have a penalty for a hand gesture is a crock of shit. Now, I'm all for it if it's going to be both ways. If you're going to give a penalty for horns down, well, then you got to give a penalty for horns up. But like I said, that too is another topic for another day. I'm getting off base here. But back to Texas A&M, man. Don't dodge Texas anymore. It's time to rectify the situation. And it's time to get your history in a better place in this series with Texas, because y'all about to be playing again. And that's the way it needs to be, because that's what college football is about, man. It's trying to get these rivalries straight, trying to break that history, trying to get you some new history. And that's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. If you don't mind, hit that thanks button down here underneath, the little heart with a thanks. Throw me a few dollars in the coffers, get us off of that YouTube teat. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams, class is now dismissed.